would you think if you saw a man in your community frantically screaming that he was being attacked by killer bees without an insect in sight? Or how about a man dousing himself with antifreeze on the false belief that he was on fire? What if I told you these are real stories of situations which have occurred in Lane County within the last year? Because they are. Some might say these people were crazy or delusional. However, these people are under the influence of a street drug in our community called bath salts. Almost every day in Lane County, someone is being arrested for being under the influence or possession of the drug bath salts. According to Sheriff Bill Greening, there have also been several incidences of individuals wounding themselves to the point of needing medical treatment because they were using this drug. He stated a good 50 to 70% of the inmates coming into the county jail are because of convictions which have resulted from bath salts. Many might hear the term bath salts and think of Epsom salt or those fragrance beads that you put in your tub. However, the bath salts I'm referring to is a synthetic drug. I'm referring to a powerful illegal drug that has not yet been tested for safety, and users really don't know exactly what chemicals they are putting into their body. According to the American Association of Poison Control Center, the side effects they cause may be permanent. I will go over in more detail exactly what bath salts are, side effects for consuming this drug, and finally signs and possible treatment of bath salts. According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, the term bath salts refers to an emerging family of drugs containing one or more synthetic chemicals. Synthetic meaning man-made. The synthetic stimulant, which can typically be found in the form of a white or brown crystal powder, contains one or more chemicals that are physically similar to ecstasy, heroin, or cocaine, but the effects on the human brain are not fully known. Bath salts are sometimes marketed as plant food or jewelry cleaner, and sold online or in drug paraphernalia stores under a variety of brand names, such as Ivory Wave, Bloom, Cloud9, or Vanilla Sky, just to name a few. They are typically taken orally, inhaled, or injected, with the worst outcomes being associated with snorting or needle injection. Bath salts seem to be the most popular with people who are between the ages of 20 to 29 years old. However, poison centers have seen bath salt exposure in a wide range of ages, from younger than 6 years old to older than 59. Many experts at the American Association of Poison Control Center says these substances are among the worst they've ever seen. Users have experienced many side effects such as paranoia or violent behavior, hallucinations, delusions, suicidal thoughts, seizures and panic attacks, increased blood pressure and heart rate, chest pains, nausea, vomiting, agitation, muscle tension, confusion, reduced need for food or sleep, and loss of bowel controls. For example, a person using bath salts might overheat and therefore tear off all of his clothes. His paranoia may drive him to aggression, uncontrolled attacks on others, or self-destruction. He will probably not respond to any commands to stop his actions, and any actions taken by law enforcement, such as pepper spray or the taser gun, may have no effect on him. These are all known events based on real situations that our local law enforcement has faced from people who are under the influence of bath salts. Bath salts tend to last The effects of bath salts tend to last 3 to 4 hours, but rapid heartbeat, increased blood pressure, and other effects may last longer. High doses have caused intense and extended panic attacks in some people. Since this drug is a stimulant, it tends to disrupt people's sleep. Zane Harosky is an ER doctor and a medical director at the Oregon Poison Control Center, and he said, "We don't know if bath salts are addicted. We have not had a long-term experience with them yet." Another person quoted, "Using bath salts is like playing Russian roulette with your brain. This person is an expert at the National Institute of Drug Abuse. His name is Michael Baham. He's the chief of the Designer Drug Research Unit, and he recently published a study which explains how bath salts cause dangerous effects in your brain. He says people using bath salts can't be sure what the psychoactive chemicals are present in them, and studies have shown that ingredients on the label are not often actually present in the product when they purchase them. Much is still not known about bath salts, such as how they interact with alcohol or any other street drugs. Scientists also don't know what happens when several different kaolin products are mixed. Kaolin is one of the main ingredients in bath salts, or the possible long-term effects on bath salts. He says bath salts are dangerous. We don't know a lot about how they affect the body, and there's no quality control in their manufacture or packaging. There's just no way of knowing what byproducts or toxic impurities are actually in these products. Some signs that someone might be using bath salts include excessive sweating, thirst, jerky body movements, grinding of their teeth, and they can suddenly get violent with little or no warning. If you come in contact with someone you think is under the influence of bath salts, authorities have suggested that you do not approach them, but contact your local law enforcement as soon as possible. Treatment of bath salts involves providing intense medical monitoring and attention to address the specific symptoms of that person. It also often involves using medication to relieve their agitation and any other emotional symptoms that they might be having. Treatment would be similar to the addiction of other drugs and would include an abstinence program, relapse prevention, and rehabilitation. The rate of bath salt abuse has rapidly increased. For example, poison control centers in the United States reportedly received 302 calls regarding the abuse of this drug in 2010. That number increased to 1,782 calls in just the first 4 months of 2011, and more than 5,000 calls by October of that year. Also, in 2011, bath salts were the sixth most commonly used drug after tobacco, alcohol, marijuana, cocaine, and ecstasy. Many believe the reason behind this is because this drug is sold at a cheaper rate than many other street drugs, and therefore more accessible. Finally, I have explained what bath salts are, the side effects of using this drug, and signs and possible treatment of bath salts. Tragically, one of the biggest effects of bath salt abuse is death, either because of the direct effect of the drug or because of the person's actions while intoxicated on the drug. For example, a young man in Louisiana thought his house was surrounded by police and tried to cut his own throat. His family was successful in stopping him, and the cut was stitched up by medical personnel. However, the next day, he ended his life with a fatal gunshot wound. This is only one of the many stories of self-destruction and harm resulting from bath salt consumption.